Hello everyone and welcome back to another DrAce video. Today we are using Toprak Razgatlioglu, the World Championship leader in World Superbike, here in the terrific circuit of Most. Now, whenever I think of Superbike 22, I think of this circuit. It's one of the best circuits in the game, if not the best. It is absolutely terrific and we need this track in more games. It's so damn good. And watching World Superbike this weekend in Most has given me a tremendous amount of inspiration and positivity to jump onto this game with Tyran 14's or Tyran 14's mod and let it fly in this video here today. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to churn out some lap times around the terrific circuit of Most, and I'm going to chat to you guys about World Superbike. This is awesome. I can now have an avenue to talk about World Superbike with you fantastic people in the comments section. And if you enjoy this video, don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe. So, let's talk the game and then let's talk about World Superbike. So first things first, I have got my old setup with the BMW M1000RR. I've reduced some of the suspension settings, etc. Tyran 14's mod also increases the bike handling, so the bikes maneuver a little bit better. They also handle a little bit easier as well, so I don't know how close I can get to my old lap time of 1:29.8, but I'll give it as many laps as I can to see if we can improve, and we'll see what we can do from there. Now, I will be starting a career mode on Superbike 22 with the 2024 mod, so make sure you head over to my community section to vote on which motorcycle you want me to use. Vote in there, and then I will let you know what we choose when we get to the game mode. Now, we'll be using the championship mode because, to be honest, I'm going to put this game on 120%. I'm not that good at Superbike 22 anymore, so I think it's going to be enough of a challenge than to faff around with trying to upgrade the bikes and messing around with the career mode stuff as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me regarding the game. I'll leave the gameplay on in the background. I hope you enjoy it, but for now we need to discuss World Superbike, and there's one glaring thing that we have to discuss, and it just so happens to be on the screen right now, and that is Toprak Razgatlioglu. This man is unbelievable what he can do. This season reminds me so much of Valentino Rossi in 2004, leaving a bike which was winning and dominating in some instances to a bike, to a manufacturer, to a team that hasn't achieved glory in a long time. And in fact, with World Superbike, BMW have never had a Constructors' Championship. They've never been on the top pile to say they've done it all in World Superbike. So to insert a man of Toprak's skill onto a motorcycle and completely change the landscape for BMW Motorrad and of course the World Superbike team is absolutely incredible. And we are seeing a man that we thought, oh, is he really going to BMW? That's not a great choice, he should have stayed with Yamaha, to, oh my god, this guy's amazing, look what he's done for BMW. We were also thinking, does Toprak really think he wants to go to MotoGP? Oh, that's probably not a good idea. Now we're asking the question, why isn't Toprak in MotoGP? The complete complexion and ignorance from us as fans, because don't get me wrong, I was the same. I was thinking, well, Toprak will do well. He might get a couple of podiums, he might even get a win with BMW, but if you were to tell me that he would have 10 World Superbike races wins in a row to lock out 3 victories in 3 rounds, I would have to say you're a little bit crazy. But now after seeing it happen, wow, this guy is unbelievable. The bike is really good as well, to be fair. It's just a bit more difficult to ride than the others. Reminds you of the Marquez's in the world with the Repsol Honda when it wasn't quite its best, still able to perform. Same with Lorenzo with Yamaha and Rossi with Yamaha as well in the past, trying to make up the differences for their bikes that aren't so good. I chuck in Casey Stoner in there as well with the GP7 on the Ducati back in the year of 2007. But to be honest, there's not much I can say that hasn't been said already. We have to just look at the statistics. Toprak killing it. 3 out of 3 with an additional race win as well. 10 wins in a row. 11 is the record set by Alvaro Bautista. There's no doubt in my mind that he's not just going to equal that, he's going to better it. He might even get close to Marc Marquez's 14 wins in a row. I think it's going to happen. We go to Portimao next month. Very good at that circuit as well. And the only reason he didn't win there last year is that Alvaro Bautista's Ducati is faster than a Yamaha R1. But that takes me to the other side, since I've mentioned the very small Spaniard, Alvaro Bautista. I am shocked to say there is a 102 point difference now in the championship between Toprak Razgatlioglu and Alvaro Bautista. That is unbelievable. Is it just because of the additional weight, or are we seeing a different Bautista? Is seeing Toprak come in and just dominate and absolutely explode with the BMW killing his confidence, or is it just the bike that's letting him down? It's amazing really, because last season, the year before, the double World Superbike champion, we would be discussing the fact that his bike is too quick. Even I said it. It's not fair the advantage he had. It wasn't fair to see him just disappear from Toprak in Portimao, but then you realise he had the same problem on all the weights and all the corners, and Toprak was able to close in. And every single time Toprak was able to close in, beat him on the brakes because the Ducati was more difficult for Alvaro to turn in because of his low size and his tiny weight that was obviously helping him on the straights but hindering him in the corners. So now that the weight restriction is on, Alvaro's had to add a couple of kilograms to his motorcycle. We are seeing a totally different Bautista. And it's a damn shame, because I wonder if Bautista didn't have the weight addition against Toprak now, with a normal standard weight size, how close would it be? Would Toprak still dominate, or would Alvaro Bautista be right up in there with the fight to the very end? I guess that's a question we don't know the answer to, and I guess we can't find it out. But this weekend of Most is just a brilliant weekend of racing, from 300s all the way to the top. But Alvaro Bautista is a name that I can't stop thinking about this weekend. I've seen from Greg Haynes on Instagram that Alvaro Bautista is getting closer to signing a contract with Ducati again. So maybe the retirement idea is not going to happen next season. But he's definitely negotiating with a lower amount of money. Of course, you're probably talking from $1 million down to a couple of 100,000 due to lack of success this season. It seems mad to say when you're talking about Bautista. But for the Spaniard to be that far down is just crazy. And this weekend, I really seen a different side to Alvaro Bautista. He was so open, so honest, so approachable in the grid talk when JT was talking to him. And he seemed calm, he seemed cool, he seemed collected. But when he was riding, it didn't seem that way. Knocking off the winglet against Danilo Petrucci's motorcycle in turn 1 in the first race. Super pole. The crazy overtake on Bulega, trying to force him off wide, forced him off the circuit, then crashed himself. And then, of course, the collision with Petrucci, which wasn't necessarily anyone's fault, but he's finding himself in harm's way. He's not qualifying where we would think he would qualify. He's making mistakes, he's holding riders up, he's getting penalties. It's not the same Bautista that we know and love. There's something definitely grinding at him, and I do think it could be the contract situation. It mustn't be nice knowing that you're the end of your tether of your contract and they're looking at other riders and you're under pressure. I do think that Bautista's got to deliver though, and hopefully he will in Portimao. Hopefully he's more closer to Toprak so we can get a much better fight. Hopefully they can duke it out on the circuit like we've used to see. Who knows? But Alvaro Bautista, he's got to sort something out, because it's not looking good for the Spaniard. And the other side of the Ducati garage, nobody expected Bulega. Maybe some people expected him to be up there in the championship, but to be just second behind Toprak by a couple of 30 points, is it? Maybe a little bit more now, 50? It might be 60, something like that. But he's closer than he is to Alvaro Bautista. Bautista's 40 further points. behind his teammate. And he's the rookie. So the rookie's walked in. He's not had any problems. 10 podiums to his name as well for Bulaga. He's doing fantastic. I really think that the pressure is on Alvaro Bautista now, which is a damn shame because only last season, and he still is using the number 1. But it's crazy to think that we're now looking at Alvaro Bautista as being replaced from Ducati. Ducati talking to Adrian Puertas and other riders as well. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy to think that Bautista... Oh, and there's one of those curbs for you, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't played Superbike 22, then I'll tell you this. Avoid the curbs at all costs. They are absolutely lethal. But regarding Ducati, they need to make a decision. And I think the right one will be to keep Alvaro Bautista. I think he'll stay another year. He'll give it another shot against Toprak and the heavier bikes. But we'll see for the future what he decides. And I think it'll probably be his last season next year. But Toprak will be staying in World Superbike. He has confirmed with an interview with Greg Haynes, of course. He'll be keeping the number 1, I think, because it does seem like he will be world champion for the second time in his career. And of course, on an absolutely brilliant form. But let's talk about the other side of BMW for the minute, because I seen something yesterday on Instagram, and it's completely... In fact, it was this morning, actually, and it completely surprised me. BMW have had a pretty good couple of weeks. If you take out Toprak, because of course he is the best in the world right now, he's dominating. Michael van der Mark had a very good weekend here in Most. Didn't qualify particularly well due to a crash, but every single time he delivered in improving each race. Race 1 improved, Superpole was a vital improvement to get up to 8th place, even beat Jonathan Ray in the battle, but then got a penalty for cutting the corner. I think it was one of the 1 second reductions where he didn't do, so he then started from 9th. Was in the podium battle for the majority of the race, and even took 2 riders in 1 corner. The speed of the M1000 RR down the long straight, using Alex Lowe's slipstream, and then on the brakes ahead of the former Moto2 world champion Remy Gardner. It was absolutely stunning. Proper classic overtake from the 2014 Supersport champion. And then on the other side, Garrett Gerloff looking a little bit better this weekend. It's not gone so well for the Bonovo Action team this year. Of course, pulling out a World Superbike next year as well, or possibly. There is still a rumour that they might stay and keep a Ducati seat. And of course, for Garrett Gerloff, was looking a little bit better this weekend. I hope he can find more speed and more confidence, because the worst thing is when you lose that confidence, you get doubters, you get your own doubts, and you begin to struggle. You basically get in your own head, so that's a difficult point for Garrett Gerloff to be in. And unfortunately, with modern day MotoGP, modern day World Superbike, BSB, the social media, the fans, the pundits, they're not allowing you to be good anymore or okay. You have to be great, otherwise your seat is pretty much gone. We see this all the time in MotoGP. Augusto Fernandez, he's only had 2 seasons in MotoGP. People are already packing his bags for him. Remy Gardner, Iker Lecuona had 1 season together in MotoGP. They were told to go as well. So you're not allowed to be good. You're not allowed to take your time. You have to be great in modern day World Superbike and MotoGP racing. And I've just crashed again in the same bloody corner because of that same bloody curb. Apologies, this was meant to be a nice smooth video, but it's not going as planned. But yeah, getting back to my point regarding the social media, Scott Redding had a decent weekend. It wasn't great, but it was much better in Donington. Bit of a track specialist, as we know, but qualified in the front row. Looks pretty good in the race, quite confident. Came away upbeat, and it was a really good interview with Greg Haynes a few days ago where he spoke about how he has had his doubts, he has struggled with the idea of not being successful. He still has a BMW contract for next season, and is eager to improve and eager to stay with... Oh my god, I've gone down again. And eager to stay with the manufacturer of BMW. But the social media aspect was, after all this weekend, after all the results, which was really solid, Michael van der Mark, fastest lap for him, top 5, Toprak lighting the world on fire. Top comment was, please get rid of Scott Redding. Like, after all of what's happened this weekend and how good it was, that's the initial thought process of the fans. I hate that. And it's going to happen to Garrett Gerloff now that he's not having the best season compared to what he did a few years ago. Pole position in many cars last season. He looked good, Garrett Gerloff. You're not allowed to take your time anymore, and people are just going to be more critical and message like these from now on. So I'm hoping that BMW can figure something out with their contract situation. Whether they'll have an additional team just for Scott Redding, I don't know. Or whether Bonovo Action will go to Ducati, or maybe they'll just continue as BMW. Goodness me, got close to that curb again. That curb just has you on the edge of your toes. But regarding for World Superbike, I'm looking forward to the Portuguese round in Portimao. And I'm looking forward to starting our career mode. But that's pretty much the gist of what I wanted to talk about here today in World Superbike. I'm a little bit ill prepared today, I do apologise. I've been building a desk on my PC. Got a really lovely desk now, it looks really good, so I'm a bit tired today, and I just only made a few notes to get me through this video, so I apologise if it hasn't been what you were expecting. I've had a bit of waffle in this one, bit of conversation, but regarding my desk, actually, I don't know if you guys would like to see a setup tour, like a studio tour. I don't really have anything, it's just my bedroom with my PC and my telly. But if you want to see anything like that, let me know. I just ordered an ultra-wide monitor here today as well, so that comes tomorrow. Which I'm actually really nervous about because I'm excited for the ultra-wide, having a 21:9 resolution, but I'm a bit curious of how it's going to look in videos. I don't want it to ruin the aspect ratio for the videos, so I'm a little bit worried. I've got a few things on my mind today, so apologies if we didn't discuss everything about World Superbike that we wanted to here today. But what I will do is I'll open up the comment sections for you guys. Let me know what you think about Alvaro Bautista on the Ducati and his situation. Let me know from anything else you want to talk about regarding World Superbike. And of course, if you want to just pay your respects to Toprak Razgatlioglu, just go for it, because the guy is absolutely unbelievable. We'll definitely do more videos like this. I want to talk more about World Superbike in general, but we'll get to it when we get to it. But this is our final lap, and this is going to be an improvement once again. It's a 129.4 here in Most. So that's the new fastest lap time for me. Pretty decent performance actually. 3 crashes, which is not great, but I'm still getting used to Superbike 22, so just give me some time to adjust. One thing I will say is that Tyron's mod does actually improve the bike physics, so I have to give a bit of credit to the fact that that is probably making me quicker rather than me just being good at the game again. So yeah, we'll see what our results yield in the future. But for now, guys, thanks for watching the video. I certainly hope you enjoyed this more casual conversation and style of video today. But if not, let me know and I'll try and focus on trying to improve for the future. But guys, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow for more content. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.